Yeah, I am live.
I am also
Alrighty.
live. All right. I'll just say quickly, welcome everyone to Game 10 of the Battle for the Continents tournament. And this is from Group 1. I'm in the game actually now. Let me just make sure I switch over so I don't have that issue that I had once where I was talking the whole game without any gameplay. All right, so this is between
Oh,
Team Hermetica and Team Not-Light-Cav. These are two of the teams very likely to advance. Like they're basically competing to advance to the next stage. I think this is Team Not-Light-Cav's last game, and this is Team Hermetica's second last game. So definitely an important game for both teams. And we are on the migration map. So Taran, do you want to introduce Team West, I guess, and then MPJ, you can do
Yeah,
Team
and is
East or
that
something?
which one's Hermetica?
Hermetica is Team East, and then Not
That's
Like
East.
Cav is Team West. Yeah.
Not like that's West. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so they're in the warm colors on the west side here. So on the at the very top we've got Nicoletta Fraula in the orange as the Byzantines, and then in the pocket position we've got MT Explorer, um, and he's playing as the Vikings. Okay, I haven't seen Vikings yet, and we've got a Vikings on each side. Anyway, and then in the south, Albanian villager as the Portuguese. So pretty standard picks. Over to you, Jay, if you want to introduce the cold colors.
okay, perfect. So starting at the top, we got Hypnos, playing as the Byzantines. Very, very standard, probably going fire ships. Then we got in the green, we got Saru, is his name on Discord at least. I'm not even going to try to pronounce that. But he is playing the Chinese or Vikings. I'm crazy. And then we got like crazy. I'm sorry, I messed up a little bit, but we got Key as the Saracens in the south.
Maybe I'll just mention that it's interesting that orange and blue are both Byzantines and they're right next to each other. And all of
Mm-hmm.
Team East have selected interesting naval civs. I'm pretty sure that Saracens have some kind of what's the naval bonus again, Taran,
Oh,
for
they yeah,
Saracens?
they're it's their galleys. I think they shoot faster.
Okay,
Yes, I think
and
it's
Yeah,
like 20%.
and
yeah.
then
So
we
they're actually pretty good. Yeah,
and just to say, then we have Vikings as well. So interesting selection there. Um,
yeah,
and I'm just gonna I'm gonna go check this audio on my stream. So feel free to take it away.
yeah. I just wanted to say like they're so two Vikings and then also a Saracen, like really heavy on the galley play. Um, what's weird about galleys is they're only effective once you get a big enough mass. And as we saw in our game that we commentated last weekend, Jay, that like uh, if you overcommit on water, you're playing with fire because you really want to invest most of your resources fighting for the continent. So galley play is interesting. I kind of think like fire is the better play, but we'll see what these teams do with it.
What do you think Red is going to do against Key? Because we know light blue there, Key is most likely going as for galleys as the Saracens there. But Red, I don't know, as the Portuguese, do you think he's going to try to do fire ships?
I mean, yeah, I think in small enough numbers, the fire ships will win.
I
It
agree.
depends if he lets him get enough of a mass up, but that's if he really leaves him alone. Like it's really, I guess it all comes down to how aggressive they want to play.
I'm back now. Just to say, it's interesting how most of the players are building pretty protective docks. So I see teal, green, and blue are all facing each other, so to speak. And yellow and red did the same thing, but orange kind of built a dock that's more facing blue. So maybe a sign of an aggressive play that he might do.
I think you're right, actually. I think that's like the postures really suggest what they're intending to do. I think the cold colors want to be able to reinforce each other quickly.
Hmm, interesting.
I
Um,
agree.
so as someone mentioned earlier, we had there was a game on this earlier in the tournament, and it was a really interesting game there where one team was essentially, it's often the case that you'll have one player on one of the teams get knocked off their island, but as long as you dominate on the mainland, then that's essentially the way the game direction the game's going to go is for the team that takes the mainland first. So any thoughts on who's well positioned to do that? Who's yellow again? Yellow is also Vikings. So we have Vikings on both sides.
Yeah, both pockets are Vikings. They're I mean, the Vikings obviously have that great boom potential, that great economy if they get up to Castle Age.
Yeah.
Starts obviously in feudal with, but like really with Castle Age they hit their stride because like getting 2 upgrades for free is so strong. And I like the Portuguese pick over the Saracens, only because the Portuguese can really like um, in tight spaces they have really good death ball, and like the early Castle Age Portuguese death ball, and then going into Imperial Age, I think that'd be slightly better than the Saracens, especially if the Saracen is tempted to go too heavy into galleys. But
Here's a question
maybe
for
they
you.
won't.
Yeah, here's a question though, Tarn. So I was actually thinking Portuguese might be the strongest civ for the actual battle on the continent here. See what I did there. But but that said, Saracens, I know those Mamelukes are just brutal. So I'm actually I'm not familiar with who would win out between Portuguese and Saracens, seeing they're close here. Like, how do Organs fare against Mamelukes? I would assume the Mamelukes would just shred them, but I could be completely wrong.
Yeah, it's interesting. The Horgan guys will do a lot of damage to them because I don't think the Mamelukes have any intrinsic pierce armor, which is kind of where the organ guns shine. But they have so much hit points, the Mamelukes, that maybe they can dive on them. Well, actually, the Saracens have the perfect counter to the organ guns. They have really good mangonel line, right? They've got the extra damage on them, right? So the siege on both of these is really strong. So once they're up into the Imperial Age and they're like they can buy whatever they want to buy, they're probably going to be pretty evenly matched. Only because I favor the Portuguese only because they have cheaper units. The Saracens don't really have the best eco bonus. They can use the market. That's about it.
Mm-hmm. I think I may have already mentioned it, but just to give the tournament dynamic again. So Team East, they pretty much they have to win this game to advance. Team West, they're kind of already through to the next round, but if Team West wins, it guarantees that they're first in their group. So it's definitely high stakes. I think we see.
And
who's
the sub, by the way? Who's the
so the
is
sub?
that Albanian villain?
No, it's MT Explorer.
Oh, it's MT Explorer. Okay, yep.
And yeah, I guess.
So we're about to see our first bit of action. If you look at Red about to attack the galleys, but with these low numbers, I mean, the fire galleys will win this every time.
Yep.
Yeah. I always question why people build galleys, but who was saying that in numbers it's the Saracen numbers, they have cheap boats. I see he's got 3 docks, so I guess he might.
I'm pretty sure all the flanks have gone three docks so far. I mean, if you want to compete on water, you got to go 3 docks.
Yeah.
Outside of Hypnos, he is only on 2 docks.
Yeah. One of the things about these, like, if you're going to play early galleys against fires, I would almost think you need to add at least 1 demo right away. What do you guys think about that? You kind of need to buy time for your galleys to get in high numbers. And for instance, right now, like a couple of demos right now, just to like force those fire galleys to split up while you micro your galleys. I don't know. Yeah. It seems like the play. Like you have to protect your galleys with fires with demos at some point.
Yeah, I think you're right. And honestly, I think Red seems a bit better positioned here, despite having fewer fire ships. We see so many on the way, so I think Teal could be in trouble here. He just doesn't know it yet. Interesting that both the pockets. I mean, they're playing really good team games in the sense of like both pockets are just going heavy economy right now. I mean, makes sense. And I see the first villagers going into Green's transport, and he's up to castle.
Orange is exploring the wrong place to find Blue's fish.
Oh, perfect. That's lucky.
Hilarious.
That's lucky, eh? Oh, engagement on the south.
We have big engagement in the south. Oh, and it is not a very good one for Teal right now.
No.
Just imagine 1 or 2 demos right now.
Yep.
I'm gonna keep making this point. Yeah, you need if 2 of these galleys were demos, this would do so much.
Although he is kiting them pretty well, so.
Yeah, he's doing a good work here.
We'll see if that he might pull it through. Yeah.
He waited to take the engagement until his fletching came in, which I think is very smart on his.
Oh, interesting. So he did wait for the upgrade. I think he won it. He did win that engagement.
Yeah, because those things have 4 pierce armor against the 6. Yeah, so that's actually like from 2 damage to 3 with fletching.
Engagement on the north side here.
Yeah.
And I think
Nice.
orange
With
is
fire
gonna win out.
engagement, orange has the advantage here.
Although green has Viking boats on the ship, the longboats. See if that comes
He's
into.
he's got longboats already. Okay, that'll rule us. Yeah,
and
longboats are so good.
and he's on the continent. He hasn't dropped the TC yet, but he is on the continent before yellow. So, but we see
What's
yellow
with
is
age check? Yeah, both the pockets are castle now.
yeah, we see yellow's longboats are also on the way. So teal might have his fight cut out for him. So Team East has actually pulled ahead in the score right now. So it's,
But those longboats coming south are going to be trouble for teal.
Oh yeah, I agree. And teal has he's got to age up and get at minimum the galleons. But Team North.
I'm actually really excited to see this naval fight, because longboats, like they're so good. Like stats wise, they look almost the same as galleys, but they're much more maneuverable and fast.
Yeah, look at Team East's attack in the north there. So, might destroy Orange's water, unless yellow comes into play.
We've got one
Guys,
raft coming in for orange, demo raft.
Oh, nice. I'm very confused. Why
guys.
did Teal take half of his galleys and leave them in the water?
I don't know, and he might just lose his whole fleet now because he's not up to castle, and we see he's being hit by a huge force of fire ships and yellows. Teal might just lose his whole galley group.
Guys,
here.
look to the right of his island. He left 5 galleys there.
Oh, I see that. Maybe to protect.
Maybe
his,
there was a
fishing-
run by and he was clearing it up.
Yeah, maybe to protect his fishing boats as well. I don't know.
At this point, he's going to lose water if he doesn't get some support from green.
He needs to just run north. Yeah, he needs to just leave with these until he can get his upgrades out.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So Teal is
because right now you just lose.
another minute before he hits castle, so he needs to keep these galleys alive, and somehow get the galleon upgrade. Yeah, Teal is in a bit of a rough spot, but I'm liking these 2 TCs by green on the continent.
He only
Right.
had those 5 more galleys. I can't. They're just sitting there.
Yeah, you're right. What is he doing with
Yeah.
them? You're right. He must
Yeah.
not see them. He must, or he's keeping them for an ambush. I don't know.
Red needs to bring his fire galleys around to actually just completely shut down this water.
Look at the yellow's longboats there on the left side of the map.
He needs to run away. 15 seconds to castle. Don't waste them now.
Yeah, dang. Oh, orange has. Oh no. Yeah, Team East.
Oh, and Teal's galleys.
Yeah.
But you might find the other 5. Let's.
Yeah.
I want him to find them
no.
so bad.
I mean,
Yeah,
he's
that's-
microing his heart out. But really, like, the answer would have been to just run away. The feudal age galleys are pretty fast. Like, he could have gotten away with all of these.
Yeah.
Come back with upgrades. Because now he's up against Castle Age units. There's
Yeah,
no way.
he's Teal is actually he's really an island now. It's actually I'm not sure if Teal's ever gonna get off that island because look how his island is surrounded. That's kind of rough.
Both blue and green have made a TC on the mainland though, and none of the other team has.
I will say that right now, for some reason, it's a bit of a long shot, but I'm actually thinking Team East has the advantage because they have the early start on the continent. They've got 3 TCs there, so my money actually is kind of on Team East right now. I mean, it is really close because I think Teal's out of it right now, and Green's losing his longboats now.
Yeah,
So-
that's a pretty bad miss micro there.
Yeah.
Or
What's up?
failure to micro at all. But I agree with your long-term diagnosis. Like, if they don't get onto the continent, and then the cool colors could get some troops there, then they can start patrolling the coast and shutting down any like TC attempts. And it's really important that they start expanding.
Yeah, I'm seeing yellow has
Orange is coming over. Yeah, yellow and orange are both coming over now.
Yellow's they both have villages now, and yellow is dropping his first TC. We'll see if orange drops one as well. So, as long as the cool colors can kind of keep up their advantage on the mainland, then I think it's looking up for them. But
Oh, and Teal is trying.
Yeah,
to.
I see
The
that, but
evacuation.
it's not gonna go well, is it? Let's see this, guys.
Do you think they?
He might jump
Place
across.
your
Oh,
bets.
no.
Do you think he's gonna make it? Place your bets.
This is really
Oh,
tough.
Okay, I'm gonna bet that one makes
One
it.
of them is
No,
gonna
but I
make
think
it.
One. Well, I'll go. One makes
both
it.
are
One
gonna
makes
make it. I'm saying both.
Oh no, he's good. He's good.
He's
Oh,
good. He's. Oh no! What is?
uh-oh.
Oh,
One-
Why is the other one back? Why is the other one back?
it's waiting
I-
for more villagers.
He made it, though. They made it. They
No,
made it.
that was bad.
so
Wait,
he did make one batch.
just
Yeah, he
passing.
did make one batch.
Just passing. Yeah,
Alright.
the caravels.
He's
Green is-
good.
We
He's
gotta
good.
make-
He
yeah.
made it.
Green is
Yeah.
putting up a fight here, but I think he's losing. So green
People,
is
demolition ships, demos.
yeah, I don't know.
Demos are the counter to fires.
Teal dropping 2 TCs on the mainland. Let's see if he's got enough. He got another batch of villagers, 3 more. So Teal might just be okay. He's okay.
Yeah, he's okay. He's out of here.
Blue has
He's not
dropped
great,
a
but he's okay.
yeah. Blue has dropped a castle on the mainland. So Team East, I just love this play they're doing on the mainland. I think they might just
And
pull
this is looking really good for the cool colors, like because
It's like your
you
classic
have to get
situation.
to the mainland. Yeah, they're overcommitting on water. You know, this is not enough. They should be dropping castles on the west side here, the warm colors. Red needs to just cut all his investment into water immediately and get onto the mainland.
Yeah.
What's interesting though is Tar Hunt, the game we watched, right? It actually had the Albanian villagers team in it, and they were the ones that ended up winning. And what they did is they went for the mainland control, while the other team went for water. So it's interesting to see the roles was reversed here.
Do you guys see a pause, by the way? Yeah,
I do see a pause.
Just...
I'll just mention that I think the migration game, if I'm not mistaken, that you guys watched was in the other group. So group 2, and it was between the Big Chief team and the Rippenfish team. Yeah. So it wasn't
that's right.
it wasn't this team.
I really thought it. No, that's my bad.
Yeah, no worries. But just to say, I'm remembering though that you guys did stream exactly migration. So in that game, we saw that the team that went on the continent first had the advantage. So let's see if that plays out here. Because I gotta be honest though, I feel like the cool colors here are weaker than the team that made it on the continent first last time around. So it is Team East is not out of the woods yet. They definitely have to dominate the continent. We see Orange is dropping that castle there on the
they have to make a lot out of it. But it is also important to remember that the stats for ships are inflated.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is about how they're calculated, but it just it measures ships as way more points than it should be.
Good call.
So yeah, these points are actually a lot more even than they look like. And I like what Yellow is at least doing. So against Teal, he's shutting down some of these starting resources. If you can put some longboats everywhere, that'll really cripple what's left of the economy on Teal's mainland.
Yeah.
Or on Teal's starting island. Yeah, so the starting islands are really starting to get shut down now. But I'm still worried for the warm colors. They really need to invest everything onto the mainland now.
Yeah. And I think that blue and green, both of them are actually they're pretty much okay.
Big demos on red.
Big demos.
Oh, I saw that. Nice. Yeah. So green, I think green and blue are actually they're doing pretty well because they've got 2 castles on the continent, and their home islands are still building economy fairly well. So if they, I think it's in their interest now to just keep booming on the continent, and I see that's what they're doing. Blue's dropping a 2nd castle now. And Teal's actually dropping a 3rd TC. So, if it comes down to it,
workers.
Who's behind in the workers?
No, they're not. They're
not behind the workers.
Oh,
I see that. Yeah, you're right. I see that just by 11. If it comes down to it, blue and green have a pretty good fortress there in the top left, northeast of the continent. So I think we might see the game being decided in the northeast of the mainland if it comes down to Team East being on the back foot.
Yeah, and I'm seeing Elite Longboat just came in for Yellow. These are the kinds of overinvestments that I'm talking about.
Teal's got a boat that's not going to make it.
Oh yeah.
No. Yeah, that ship goes down, but he's got enough on the mainland that he's going to keep pumping. So Teal's going to be.
You need Elite Longboat for that.
It is kind of crazy. It's 70 army to 6 army, and 5 of that army is those 5 Teal ships that have been sitting there.
Oh no!
I'm gonna keep bringing back to those.
Yeah, those could maybe go and do some raiding. Maybe kill some fishing ships in a while.
So green is trying to drop a castle close to orange, and I think he's going to do it now. Oh no, he's building it in.
Oh, he's actually doing it. Wow, he's in range of another castle.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Oh,
There's
but
one-
orange
oh,
comes with a
oh,
cataphract.
no.
Oh no,
A
that's
cataphract's
Oh,
coming
it's
in.
getting
That's-
denied.
green has to
He has
castle.
nothing there.
Yeah, he has to.
You
He has
can't
to.
fight a cataphract with villagers. That's the
Oh no,
worst.
he's doing it just to block off his villas.
Yeah, okay, so he's just getting himself some.
Yeah, but building with 3 is crazy.
Is this even worth it to do? Because there's a siege workshop coming up under it. He can just build a battering ram that'll be done before the castle's done.
Maybe.
Well, blue is building a castle behind it. I think that's a really good, just in case this green one doesn't work out as well as we all hope.
Yeah. So look
And
at this.
red is dropping a he's dropping a castle on green's home island. Again, this is the kind of thing that we saw in the other game. This is overcommitment. These outer islands don't matter.
I completely agree, and I was gonna say I wonder though if the team has kind of like made a like there's some kind of a deal they have. It's like red, you go after their islands, me orange and yellow will go after the mainland. But if so, I think that's a bad move because the mainland is just so much more important. So I think green is not going to get that castle up. We see orange has denied it. So good on orange for doing that, but blue will get his castle up. So I think Team East, the cool colors, still have the advantage on the mainland, and teal is also dropping a castle, so good for him because I would have built it much closer though to his TCs because the TCs he needs to protect them, but Team East is definitely still in this on the mainland.
It's securing his front line and a stone and a gold, so the position is pretty good.
Yeah.
That's true. But he could, if he has another, if he can afford another one, maybe cover his back line there a bit.
I'm seeing blues dropping some walls there on the continent. Part of me kind of questions that a little bit. I feel like a better move on this on the continent here is just to build more castles because they're never going to be able to wall off the coastline because of the ships. So I would think just go military and build castles. But
yeah, I think it's okay. Just because they've started dropping a lot of farms. And they can't rely on their home islands anymore, so they really need to sprawl out their economy, and in doing so, they become susceptible to raids.
Yep, that's.
And they don't want to be the other team can put their farms on their mainland, but they can't. Yeah. So they want to make sure that they don't end up in a vulnerable position.
So, folks, and I'll. So just to mention that I'm impressed by Orange's cataphracts here, and I'm kind of worried that Team East. I mean, they don't have any. Oh, we're seeing a couple. The first berserkers coming out. Okay, that's great. But so far, not much military on the continent. So actually, it might be Orange.
Mamluks.
Oh, okay. Orange might raid with those cataphracts, which if he can manage that would do a lot of harm to Team East on the continent. But we'll see what they do. MPJ, what were you saying?
Sorry, I was saying, and the Mamluks. Saracen player Key is starting to go for some Mamluks.
Nice. Okay. I see.
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
Oh no worry. I keep going on, so definitely feel free. Just wanted to say that I do see though. Okay, so green is up to Imperial. Yellow and orange, the two players on the continent, are both up to Imperial. So I think the longer stretch is still in Team East's favor, but obviously they're not out of the woods yet by a long shot. So we'll see if they can manage to hold their possession, so to speak, on the continents. So blue is also up to Imperial. That's great.
Yeah, I think the warp colors just look stronger all around. They just have more stuff. They've had more aggression, but the cool colors just have so much space on the mainland, and I wonder if the warm colors, if they're going to be kicking themselves at some point. At the moment, I still think it's anyone's game because, red is knocking out green's home base. He can also drop a landing and hit teal from below, and they can start taking some of those extra resources left over on the home islands. Yep. So red is already doing it. Yep. So this is actually... maybe this is how to do it. If you want to take out the home islands, deny those minerals, like the stone and the gold, and then send villagers over and mine that makes up a little bit for the lack of space on the mainland. And look at this, 4 castles coming down for the warm colors in there.
4 castles being built at the same time. Yeah. It's beautiful.
And
this is like...
And just 2 things to say is that one thing we didn't see in the last migration game is that we didn't see the team that won the islands take advantage of the resources on the island very well. So we'll see if the warm colors here can do that a bit better. And we see orange doing the first attack here in the north of the continent. So this is a crucial moment here for the cool colors if they can withstand this attack. I think blue needs to repair that castle. I think he's going to do it. Unfortunately, though,
Oh,
it's
no, he
not.
Oh, there's a
can't. This-
hole!
It's not walled off. That part's not walled
Oh,
off
is
at
it?
all. This is
And
this
those
is trouble because
cataphracts.
those berserks did nothing. Oh, we've got Arbalest though now for green.
Yep. But they're
Oh, is that
exposed.
Viking
They're
Arbalest?
exposed. Green's Arbalists
Yep.
are exposed.
I'm not sure if this is the sort of engagement you want to be taking right now.
You don't want to be
You
rolling
also
them over
cast
the
a
map.
fallback.
Yeah, Green's Arbalesters are exposed. So unfortunately, the cool colors are not exchanging very well here. But I still think that they're pretty well set up. So they just need to kind of withstand this early pressure here from orange. And who knows, maybe teal will come help. I think he will actually. I see those Mamelukes making their way up. So I think we're going to see Team East rallying here. Green has Trebs, so he has what he needs to take out those castles, but he needs to keep them alive.
Oh, but these siege rams are right next to the Trebs.
Yeah.
Is he
Oh
gonna
no,
notice
they're
this?
hitting them. They're hitting them.
Yeah. Oh no.
That's
2
terrible.
Trebs go down. 3, 4.
Yeah.
Fourth one about to go down. Is he gonna get the yes? He's gonna get the last one. That's brutal.
Yeah.
That's something you don't want to see. Well, you either really want to see it or you really don't want to see it, depending on who you're rooting for.
Yeah, and look at this. Red is dropping castles all over the coastline.
Yeah.
Town centers. He's making a heavy landing now, so I think the warm colors are doing well.
This is looking like a really great game now. I was criticizing the warm colors for not getting onto the continents, but Red has done the right thing in that he sent villagers across immediately to take the leftover resources from the islands, and now that he's done with that, he's moving on to the mainland.
Yeah, folks, I think...
Ooh, yellow with cannon galleons, taking out some of the town centers and mills up at the top.
Team East, they're definitely still in action. They still have the econ advantage on the mainland, but they need to fill that space between green and teal with economy to really maximize their use of the continent, because Team West is still kind of squished, but I'm loving all the castles they're dropping, and it's
The cool colors now have a formidable army.
Yep.
That's outside of the warm colors base.
And I think
Arbalests from the Vikings, some berserks, lots of Mamelukes from teal.
They should win that engagement
and just
against
loads
orange.
of archers, arbalesters.
All right.
But red is going to give teal some problems.
Yeah, teal
in the really long game, the warm colors will be able to trade on the water. They'll be able to get the longest possible trade route that can't be raided. So they have that in their back pocket for the ultra late game.
Yeah.
I think Hypnos is feeling like this game is over. I mean, he even put GG guys, and I don't think everyone else wants to give up just yet, but I don't know. Hypnos just slinged everything over to green there.
I hope he didn't. I hope he doesn't give out, because they definitely are doing really well on the... They definitely have a chance. Unfortunately, they just need siege. That's the thing. And I see teal is building economy into that space. So I definitely think the cool colors still have a very valid chance here on the mainland, but obviously under pressure by the cannon galleons on the water, and they just need to get siege units to start taking down those castles. So
and I didn't even notice this, but teal is not in the Imperial Age yet.
Oh, and big onager hit at the middle.
Oh shoot.
Oh no, and another one.
Oh, buddy, that's okay. Green has Trebs now, so actually, folks, I think if they can start using those Trebs and keeping them alive, then they might have an answer to the warm colors. But look at these organ guns coming from the... Hypno says coming with Trebs, so... But red is coming with organ guns. So yeah, teal is hurting, and he is imping up now. He is imping up too with the most protected TC. But he's going to have to really keep his... oh no, another onager hit there.
Oh.
Green has to work hard to keep his archers alive against those onagers.
Yeah.
Dang.
Oh, another good hit. And then the counterfire's going. Oh no!
Oh, that last one was brutal.
That was like 10. Oh, it was so bad.
Yeah.
They need Light-Cav. They need something to just dive in on those things.
I think they're going to take down this castle though, which is already. Did they not finish it
off?
off?
They're not repairing.
They did take one down. So the cool colors are not. And teal is dropping a new castle, so he's definitely still in business there. New TCs there on the eastern side. Oh no, he lost. Oh no, what is the answer? They need an answer to those onagers. Yeah, Teal is taking them out now with his
Yeah, the
Oh,
Mamelukes
no.
went in, but they're getting swarmed now, and he only got 2.
Losing all
Oh,
of those Arbalesters might have
whole
been the game there. That
Yeah.
was
whole
horrible.
colors, yeah, they're really falling apart here.
What can they do? They lost their whole army, and at home they don't have much eco anymore because it keeps getting raided.
And Teal just has he can't fight an Imperial army. Like he needs to get up, and I don't even know what he can make now.
And I think they're
Cyrus-
calling the GG here.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, they played so well, but I think losing those Arbalest to the Siege Onagers and not having an answer.
Yeah, that's brutal. That's absolutely brutal.
Yeah, guys, I think
that hurts.
that the answer was that the Cruel Colors, they had the early advantage on the continent, and I feel like they were really well positioned, but I guess they needed to put pressure on the Warm Colors on the continent a little bit earlier before they were able to drop all those castles. Because you see,
I
look
don't
at
know.
all
I
those.
think yeah.
Yeah, because
Go ahead.
remember, just to compare it to the other game you had Fish. He had onagers and he was pushing with them really early against the other team on the continent.
Yeah.
But we didn't see anything quite like that. In fact, it was the Warm Colors who started the fighting on the continent first.
Yeah, I gotta say, like losing 5 trebs to siege rams is like that was their pressure. They could have taken down so many castles. They could even have been sniping onagers with those things if they kept them alive, but they lost them in just that early confusion to some siege rams, and then that took the wind out of their pressure, and then that's a big oof.
Yeah.
I don't know if this is. I am a big fan of the spread formation. If you know there's onagers on the field, just put your archers in spread formation, because you're gonna mess up at some point. At least I always do.
Yeah, that's a good call.
Especially people at this rating. I mean, you can't split and then split again. Like we're just, yeah, we're not to that point, right?
So
just take the hit with the spread formation, lose your 4 archers, but killing the siege onager, it's a better trade for you with spread usually.
Yeah, I mean, if he had nailed it, we'd obviously be saying like, oh yeah, he had it all along.
I guess the answer was they needed a couple of Cavaliers or light cav to just run in, scare off the onagers, and then obviously keep the trebs alive. If they had kept those 6 trebs alive, I think this might have been a different story here. All these castles would have been hurting. There would be less cataphracts because there'd be less castles producing, and they might have done enough damage on orange in time to hold off red, but as it is,
I would have loved to have seen bombard cannons, but I believe the only civ that gets them is Byzantines for the
Byzantines and Saracens.
Yeah, Saracens.
Oh, Saracens also. Okay, see, I would have loved to have seen just a couple, because to me that seems like usually the heavy counter to onagers.
Yep, that or monks, and the Byzantine could have made monks.
Folks, what I really liked about this game, or what's interesting anyway, is that we saw something different happen from the first game, which is where, unfortunately, Red for Worse, the team that landed on the continent first, actually did not get the result they wanted. So we see that, the game was still open, and Cool Colors had the long-term kind of setup, but just a couple of unlucky exchanges, and then they were in a tough spot. So
Teal was in a tough spot. He wasn't able to hold his front because he couldn't get to Imperial fast enough. Yeah. And I wonder why that was. Like, I don't know if he maybe overinvested on economy, or like what exactly happened, why he couldn't get up, but he ended up just not being able to beat this death ball coming from red, and that was a big problem. If Teal had been online and evenly matched with red, this would have been game would have been still going right now.
The thing is also that Teal had a tough time getting over to the continent. You remember he made it, but it was like a really close call. So, but big hats off. I mean, he did it. He did jump over, and I thought he did an impressive play of econ booming there. So. Oh yeah,
made the best of a bad situation for sure.
Yeah. Let's jump over to the collective chat and hear from the players, and then we can round out the stream.
Sounds good.
All right, so I'll see you guys in just a sec.
See ya.
Yep.
Hello, folks. Okay. How you doing?
I'm fine.
Yeah. Yeah, really interesting game. It went differently than the first game on migration in this tournament, where we really thought the cool colors they had a pretty good position there on the continent, but the mainland, I mean. But yeah, tough call. Hey, Saru, are Hypnos? Oh, there you're here.
Yeah,
Oh,
everyone.
welcome, welcome.
Hi guys.
Yeah, maybe. Well, why don't we start with Team East Hypnos? What were your thoughts on the game?
I mean, I did my best. I did everything we planned, but I think they were much better than us. So yeah, I couldn't have done any better, I think.
Yeah, we saw that you're a bit unlucky because you lost those 6 trebs there on the continent against the battering rams, and that was unfortunate. But I don't know. We thought you guys we actually thought were really well positioned there on the continent. So
Yeah, I mean, we had the map, but I didn't have resources, so I couldn't really make any strong armies.
yeah,
And also, they have water, so they had food and everything.
yeah. And then MT Explorer, we noticed your onagers there. Oh man, those were yours, right? That hit the.
Yeah.
Oh jeez.
Yeah, those were some lucky shots.
Unlucky.
That last one, that was brutal.
Yeah,
Took
but
out like what 30 at once.
that
Yeah.
was over that point, so
Yeah.
I mean, I even said at one point, as soon as I saw that hit that ball of archers, I go, I think that's game. That was pretty much the whole army you had keeping you from being raided constantly on the mainland. And as soon as those went down, it felt like the game was over.
Yeah. But I will
Yeah,
say.
but I had to defend the trebuchets, and if I lost them, I just cannot push with only archers because of the castles. So
Yeah.
And then I had a question for Chi. Chi, did you know about the 5 galleys that were sitting on the outside of the water?
Nope. What 5 galleys?
Because halfway through feudal age, you had like 15 galleys, and you pulled them back. And when you pulled them back forward, you left 5 there. So it took your 15 galleys and separated it into 10. And then those 5 galleys were sitting there for like the rest of the game.
I thought I'd lost them because they were fighting his shit. I knew that his fire ships were coming up, so I thought I thought I'd lost 5. Because they were chasing after fire ships, weren't they? Like they were chasing down.
Yeah, and then they just kind of stopped there. And then when you went back to fight the fire ships, you had being down 5 is really rough.
I realized I should have had them split into separate groups. I'm not sure what the limit is where they when you're microing them and they overlap on each other. Because I lost a ton of ships due to that. I think it's like you have, when you pull them back and they turn left first or turn right.
Yeah, they make a nice line with the back of it in the middle of the enemy army. Yeah.
They only do that when there's so many, but there's a way
okay.
There's a pro tip if you split them up, but I forgot to do it. There's lots of mistakes just because it's you're getting pressured. You just
nerves and
I didn't really have nerves. It's more just the pressure.
Stressful game.
It's just you can't deal. It's just it's a pressure.
Too much.
There's a lot going on.
Yeah.
I had a question about that water fight though. Is there a reason why you fought? You were on your way up to castle and you could have run away with your galleys and waited for upgrades. Is there a reason why we stayed and fought?
Yeah, because I was pretty much going to lose all my docks anyway. I tried to use them as a distraction so I could go to the left and build some docks just to quickly get a few vills over. Because I knew if I didn't do that at one point, I'm pretty much out the game.
Got it.
I had to do that.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But I did initially want to, because I did this it's like a galley rush thing. I wanted to do play more defensive and do fire ships into fast castle, and so I could just secure getting over there anyway. But I think either way, I don't think I would have been able to deal with just what was coming.
Right. Yeah. But we like the fact that you had like Saracen galleys, like, so.
Oh yeah, the bonus.
reducing
That's
them.
what. Yeah.
Yeah. That was a. That was
Yeah,
quite impressive.
Once you had like fire ships and longboats coming at you, yeah, it's not much you could do.
It's tough, but so just to mention that so this game, Team Not-Light-Cav, this secures your position at the top of the group. So you will be advancing in first place. The second place though is still up for grabs, and I've been looking at the group stats and stuff, and actually turns out Team Hermetica, you guys, I think you guys still have a chance because you have one more game. So the second place is still up. So just to mention, it ain't over yet. So,
Okay.
but anyway, sorry. Anyone else want to mention something? NPJ, I think I don't remember you were going to say something.
No, I think I'm all good. It was a fantastic game. Well fought on both sides. It was fun to see something a little different than the other migration game. It's very interesting how we have the same map and even very similar civs, and yet a completely different game.
Yeah,
it was really interesting to see. It was really interesting to see like how you had a slightly different sort of approach, like the different teams. Like Red went for like taking out the home islands, whereas like the Cool Colors, you guys just went for the mainland.
Yeah, there was a while we were thinking that Red maybe was making a mistake by just going after the islands, but then we saw the massive landing there on the west side of the island, and we realized it was that you were planning it or something
part
like
of the
that.
plan.
So, yeah. Anyway, yeah, big thanks guys to both teams. Really appreciated it. And stay tuned for the next games.
Go
ahead.
So Nibal, sorry, what's the map for our match for tomorrow?
I don't think I didn't do the little dice roll yet, so that's still TBD. And I don't even think we have I don't even know if we have a game time yet. I know you're actually, I think it's
Yeah, no, it is 16 EST.
You know what? I got mixed up. Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's right. It's you're playing against Team Britain Chicken at 16 Eastern Time tomorrow. That's right.
Yeah, Eastern time.
So, guys, there is another game tonight. There's two more games tonight. One at 8 p.m., one at 10 p.m. I don't know. I think the one at 10 p.m. will be streamed live, probably on Tarhunt's Twitch. The 8 p.m. game, that's my game, so I don't think we're going to stream it live, but we might stream it tomorrow. So definitely check out those games. Otherwise, yeah, big thanks, guys, and yeah, stay in touch because the next games will be crucial for the tournament. So hope to see you guys all for the semifinals and the finals. See who wins the tournament. So
all right, thanks a lot.
All right,
thank you guys for playing.
Thanks all.
It was a pleasure.
Guys.
GG's.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Yeah, thanks.
Pleasure.
Thank you.
GG's.
Thank you.
GG's.